How we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggy with It. I'm Will, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to do a top 10 video of some, I guess I'll call it people's buzz, community buzz. I don't know. You guys give me ideas down below what we could call this. But basically, I'm using Pub Meeple's rankings to determine in the last 30 days which games within their top 100 made the biggest movement. So I did reach out to Pub Meeple after we did the top games, or the People's Choice, Community Choice. Again, have to decide what we're going to call it, for last year's games, and said, hey, do you guys do your rankings at a 30-day interval? Because I did read one of their blog posts that said they did. So reached out, they said, sure, that'd be an easy thing for us to implement. So they went ahead and implemented it. Now you can go to their ranking section. There's a little drop down. You can change the last 30 days. I had to go into Excel, do all fancy math, and it spits out the difference of the top 100. Actually, it gives you all 500, but I figured that's way too much for me to figure out. Either way, I digress. So what this is the top 10 games, or the 10 games that made the biggest moves within the 100 from January to February, right? So this is for February's top 10. All right, so I guess with that, we will go ahead and get started. I'm just going to kind of give a brief overview of the games. Again, if you guys would like to see more or have more information, or have me pull up BGG or whatnot, again, let me know down in the comments. If you just want to know what the game is, well, I'm going to tell you what the game is. So number 10 was Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated. It's from 2019. It was 24 points higher, so it raised 24 points. I believe that has to do with Clank Catacombs coming out, and of course trying to do the integration with Acquisitions Incorporated. But also there's a little bit of a rumor going around where I think a second version is supposed to be coming out. I don't know. There's been no confirmation from Direwolf, but that might be why it was pretty hot last month. The number 9 is Hansa Teutonica. Specifically, they've got the big box rated. So I tried to go out to BGG and see. BGG doesn't rate them separately. This went up about 26 spots in the top 100. It's rated 127 on BGG. I don't know much about this game. I've not played it. I pulled up some of the key things. They say there's action points, area control. You get some kind of route building, ownership, tech trees. I think I remember seeing a shut up and sit down video of it. It looked very complicated. It looked Euro-y. I don't know why it was on for last month. So if you guys have some idea why people would have been playing it and rating it on Pub Meeple, let me know down in the comments. So number 8 is Root from 2018. Root is one of those probably evergreen games. It's going to be around for a long time. Lots of expansions, lots of asymmetry. It is a game, because we like asymmetry, I want to get, but there's so much content now that I would want to get it all, and that's a pretty penny. So I don't know if they'll ever do something like Everdell, where they'll have just one big box, because they're kind of saying we're done, this is all our factions. If they ever do, maybe that's when we'll be able to pick it up. So number 7 is Revive. This is another game that I know little about. The board game, or the box art, if you see, looks good. It looks very nature. It says it was a 2022 game, so maybe it just started fulfilling in Kickstarter in February, and that date needs to be updated to 2023. But I don't know much about it. So again, if that's one of those games you guys know, let me know down in the comments why that was so hot last month. Next one for number 6 is Beyond the Sun. Again, this is another game that I'm not familiar with, but it is 88 on BGG's top 100. So it is a game that is, well known. It was not in the top 10, because I only did, or top 25, I only did top 25 for Pub Meeple last year. So I didn't have a chance to research it, but same thing. It looks like it's area control, contracts, events, tech trees, worker placement. Sounds like Hansa Teutonica, except for in space, although I highly doubt there's any similarity there. So for number 5, now we're into the top 5. Number 5 was a game that was in the top 25 last year, and that is Obsession. It is a game of like Victorian style game. Again, don't know much about it, but it gets a lot of praise. I think for me, the reason I've never looked into it, I don't think the theme in any way, shape, or form would impress me, or even oddity, like that we would even like it. But it is rated very highly. So if you guys think that's a game we should pick up, let us know down below. All right, so for number 4 is War of the Ring, second edition. Again, another game that made it in the top 25, so another game that is very, very popular. So no surprise that it is. The fact that it moved up so far has me curious why. I think there was there a War of the Ring card game that just recently got reprinted or came out? So maybe that spurred some people to want to play the original War of the Ring. I do know the Dune was based off of one of the War of the Rings. I don't think it was this. I don't think it was the board game. I think it was more the card game. But I don't know. That's just something I'm not sure of. So number 3 is Dead Reckoning. So Dead Reckoning makes sense. I think they just finished up the expansion Kickstarter during around the same time period. So probably a lot of people are getting in there playing Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning is a very interesting looking game. We, of course, haven't had a chance to get it. Probably reach out to AEG maybe when the expansion comes out and see about getting it covered on the channel. But it's very unique in the way that you build out your crew with these little transparent cards, and you go around to the islands to recruit them and get money. The battle is very different as well, so you can see why a lot of people like this game. So number 2 is Mosaic. This is another one of those ones that I think a Kickstarter helped promote that last month. People were, of course, very hyped about the new expansions coming out for it, so they were probably playing the game at the beginning of the year to, rank it. Mosaic is a civilization game. You're going out, you're building things, you're making things better. I was going to back the Kickstarter, never did. It just seems too big for what we want to play on a normal, session for you guys on the channel. And then the number 1 game, which is a game we're definitely going to pick up, well, not pick up, we actually have it, that we definitely are going to play on the channel here soon, and that is Clank Catacombs. It moved over 67 spots last month from January to February. That is a big jump. So Clank Catacombs, for those of you not aware, is Clank, except for with a modular setup. So basically you have tiles now that you're going to flip over as you go through your normal dungeon crawl. Same deck building, same everything else, but that modularity does add a lot of variety, and people are already thinking, can I get rid of my old Clank for Clank Catacombs? And we'll have to see at the end of the year, does Clank Catacombs take out Clank for, was Clank in the top 25? I don't know. You guys got to check out the video because I can't remember. But we'll see if Clank Catacombs can outtake its big brother. But there we go, guys. That is the top 10 games that were, again, buzzworthy. I'm going to call them buzzworthy games because people were voting and rating, and they were increasing in popularity between January and February of 2023. If you have any suggestions for this segment, this new little thing that I hope to do every month, let me know down in the comments. If you want to watch us play any of these games, or you want us to buy some of these games so we can play them for you, let us know down in the comments. Otherwise, guys, peace.